The first quarter of 2026 just dropped its economic report. Could this be a sign of growth, slowdown, or something more urgent? You need to know now. The latest data from KTTC in Rochester, Minnesota, shows the U.S. economy grew by 2.1% in the first quarter of 2026. This growth rate signals a steady, if moderate, expansion compared to recent quarters. Despite concerns over inflation and global uncertainties, the numbers reveal resilience in key sectors. Consumer spending and manufacturing output were notable contributors to this growth, indicating underlying strength in domestic demand and production. Digging deeper, consumer spending led the charge with a solid 3.5% increase in Q1 2026. This suggests Americans are still confident enough to open their wallets despite inflation worries. Meanwhile, manufacturing output climbed 1.8%, showing industries are ramping up production. These sectors combined helped offset weaker performances elsewhere, keeping the economy on a positive trajectory during the quarter. However, the report also highlights some warning signs. Inflation stayed elevated at 5.2%, continuing to erode purchasing power for many Americans. Certain sectors, including housing and energy, experienced price pressures that could dampen future growth. Economists warn that if inflation does not ease, it could lead to tighter monetary policy from the Federal Reserve, potentially slowing the economy later this year. On the jobs front, the unemployment rate fell to 3.7% in Q1 2026, a slight improvement that indicates a tight labor market. Employers are still competing for workers, which could keep wage growth strong. However, if inflation and cost pressures rise further, businesses might slow hiring or investment, impacting job growth in coming months. In summary, the first quarter of 2026 shows steady U.S. economic growth driven by consumer spending and manufacturing. But inflation remains a threat, and job market conditions could shift as businesses respond. For you, this means keep an eye on your budget as prices may stay high, and watch economic news for signs of changes in jobs or interest rates that could affect your finances. The Q1 2026 numbers reveal a U.S. economy growing steadily, but facing inflation challenges and potential shifts in hiring. Staying informed helps you make smarter financial decisions this year. Subscribe for daily updates so you never miss key economic news that impacts your wallet.